One of the first things you need to do before you start cutting on a car is learn how to use an alpha knife so we don't scratch glass. A lot of people ask me how I cut a car so quick, and I just tell them I don't look at what I'm doing, I look at where I'm going. When it comes to window tinting, well, we're taught to hold a pencil like this to draw. Being window tinters, we hold alpha knives like this. On this piece of film here, if I wanted to straighten out this edge a little bit, it didn't take a whole lot of pressure to do that. If you need more pressure, it means your blade's getting dull and it's time to break the blade. In order to cut a straight line, if you look at that, that's kind of a parallel line. That's not a parallel line. And I'm actually putting my vision along the length of the blade, or if I had a shorter blade, using the knife as a guideline. By following the parallel, I call it, I can cut a straight line. If you have a hard time now looking at the tip of your knife, use a hard card. The trick is to learn how to cut about a 3/16 inch strip without looking at the tip of your knife. The other thing you want to do in this exercise is kind of feel for when your blade starts to go dull. This is an older window. And probably by another pull or two, it's not going to want to cut the film anymore. I'm using the same pressure with my knuckles riding against the glass, and there we go. It's definitely time to break the blade. Depending on the car, if you clean the windows prior to cutting the back window or doing a stripe, the blade will last longer. Especially doing stripes on older cars, the windshield will be pitted. You might have to break your blade 3-4 times to do a stripe on an older car. If you hit a piece of dirt, sand will dull blade quickly. You don't use more pressure. If the car was dirty, all you have to do is break the blade. And it should cut right off. One of the things I like to do when I do training classes, to get tinters comfortable with cutting on glass, rounding corners, and release sheets. So I'm going to take the bottom off here. Start about 1 inch down, 3/16 in, let your knuckles ride the glass, and learn how to follow the parallel. Tearing away from the cut line, now bring it this way. Kind of hard to do on the vertical here, and that didn't cut. But the idea here is we go to do the door windows, we'll have little tails we'll have to straighten out. And a lot of times I'll use my fingers to round the corners, depending on the curvature of the glass or the radius of that corner. But by starting, usually my first day at tint school when I teach is to get students to pull about 100 pieces of 1/4 inch stripes and then go back up. I didn't cut through that one. And then around the corner. Once you get comfortable and know when your blade goes dull, you're ready to cut on a car. When you're cutting quarter windows, back windows, most cars now have the black frit on there, the little dots along the sides of the windows. You'll be cutting 3/16 of an inch into those. When you're cutting out a back window, you're going to want to cut top and bottom within 3/16. The side's typically perfect or perfect around the defroster lines. By being able to watch the frit and use that as your parallel, you should be able to cut those fairly quickly and easily. The other thing you need to do is learn how to peel release sheet. Typically, take release sheet off. I just kind of pick at it a little bit, keep my blade perpendicular to the glass until you can kind of see the film come up. I hold it with my finger, and now I can peel it if I want to. You can clean the window perfectly clean, but if you can't get the release sheet off, the longer time you wait getting the film on your clean glass, the more chance you have contaminants from the air getting back onto the glass. So the other thing you need to learn to do is peel a release sheet fairly quickly. It's always easier starting on a corner. You slide your knife across it and it comes up. Some tinners use their teeth to separate the film. I've seen other tinners kind of pick at it with a fingernail. And depending on the type of film it is, how easy it'll come off. This one doesn't come off real easy with the fingernail. Also, if you use your finger to peel the release sheet, you have a chance of leaving a fingerprint where you started from. After you get comfortable a little bit, we can try following some curves. It's almost like learning how to draw in a sense, but instead of looking at the knife or a pencil, we're trying to follow the side of our knife to make nice smooth arcs. Like I said, before you can even attempt to cut on a card, it's best to practice on a vertical. Find out not only how to cut the straight line, when your knife goes dull, and how to peel a release sheet. And as you cut doors, we're getting dull here again. Knowing how to square things up. Some tinners use a straight edge. As long as you can follow your knife, you should never need a straight edge.